ended. I was like, why did I make this poll? And there was nothing on the poll. Anyway,
Oh,
so
one more thing I want to say about
oh,
that
go
too,
ahead. You good?
sorry,
Go ahead. Go
is
ahead. No, you're good.
um what was interesting is I'm not sure, was he the one who brought up the therapy? Because I'm so confused by the therapy discussion, because it's like, if you're not going to go, then why are y'all even bringing it? I mean, I think they should go and all of that, but I'm like,
Chris
how
started
is
discussion. Chris
so
started
Chris is
discussion.
like, oh, so I'm like, to me, you all should halfway be a team or something. So y'all need to discuss what y'all gonna do on the therapy. Because to me, I feel like all of them saying that she should go and she don't want to go and all that back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What's
okay,
going on with
Chris.
that?
Yeah. So I'm like, you need to, but hopefully, I'm sure, I guess they're going to convince her. But so that was something I kind of thought that was interesting too, or interesting dynamic, in that she doesn't want to go, but
Right.
everybody else is like, girl, you
Telling
need
her to
therapy
go.
too.
Well, the whole thing of with the kids was really coming at her, not necessarily in a bad way or anything, but the kids were trying to say, hey, you need to have a discussion. Now, the whole blurt out with the niece, I want us to talk about. I think I might have skipped ahead because really and truly, we'll get into that. We're probably gonna get deep into the family thing, but her talking to her husband about it was a positive thing. So the part you also missed was Chris showing the property. So this is gonna be probably the two questions. The first question is Fletcher going through and showing property to Sunni and Moses. Did it seem still wrong after actually seeing it being done with Martell being there, right? You got Fletcher and Martell who claim to be Destiny's bodyguard for Martell. Fletcher, that's my little sis, right? Um, does it look messy to you? It was kind of like a mixed up question, but you kind of get my gist. I want to know how you feel about that whole scene because, like Lee said, it's messy, and I'm like, okay, is it business or is messy? And then you hear her talk about IVF, all this kind of stuff, all within this conversation. It was just a lot. But go ahead, give me your thoughts, please.
Okay. So I have a few thoughts on this. So the first thing I feel fundamentally, and I was thinking about this because I was running late because I had to walk my dog or whatever. But I was thinking about this. Fundamentally, I think Carlos is messy. You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of like, I have to go back. I'm not going to go back and do the history, but Destiny was a +1 if we want to be that way. And so now you are going to bring this couple onto the show as a +1 of a plus. Like, what? Huh? So to me, I feel like if Carlos is like, okay, we're going to basically give them a whole episode again, because we've seen them a lot this season, then maybe like, like, is this, so now it's kind of like giving the okay for like, okay, yeah, we're going to start invite, like now they're just going to be filming every week. Is that what you're saying? Like, so that's a later discussion, but that's one thing where I'm like, it kind of reminds me of Quad from Married to Medicine. But the difference is
Mm-hmm.
Gregory was the doctor. So you on that show because of him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you become Married to Medicine. So if he marries
Right.
somebody else, that person, okay, I'll give you that.
Gotcha.
But Destiny, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you coming up on here because of Destiny, and she was married to somebody. Like, I don't even understand it. And I don't really, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it just does not sit right that, like, are they now going to be like the friend of the show and become a couple?
Come on, Erica, come
Are we
on.
following
You
them?
already
Like,
know.
I
Look,
can't. Like, I'm almost like,
right.
I'm not team Destiny or whatever, but I'm like, okay, this is just a trifling way to scramble your way onto a show. Like, that's
Yes.
fundamentally.
Yes.
I can't with you guys.
Yes. Yes.
So,
What? I said the same thing. Come on. Yes.
yeah. So so to me, I feel like,
Oh, hold on, Edgar. For you guys who don't know, we started +1 a long time ago. I started saying it because when we did Potomac, I always say +1 is somebody who's just extra that you have on the list. Somebody you add last minute. So when you hear us say it's where we started. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
or yeah, like, so, and I'll go back to that too. So like a +1 is sort of like, how I think Stormi and Destiny and some other people were kind of like someone's friend of the show, or how Marlo was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're a friend of the show, and then they sort of claw
Get an
their
apple
way or
to
work
apple.
their way to be a full-time person, which is great. Like, I don't deny that, but I was like, okay, so now we bringing on their friends or their exes. Like, so that baffles me. So to me, I feel like Chris actually showing the house, no, it's not horrible or whatever, but I don't but he should have, had he listened to his wife and just sent Destiny a text, or maybe I assume he didn't, because I assume this is going to be a thing later. But I don't know if it's him, if it's them or production, but it is messy if you don't even say anything to the woman, excuse me. So I do feel like he should have said something. Not doing it was messy. Now I'm not clear. So I'm so confused by the house. So if Lee comes back on, maybe she can explain it to me. I remember Martell was living in the house and Chris came over and told him he had to go. He had to move out. And then, so, because my understanding was someone else actually owned the house. So in the way they were talking, it sounded like Martell was the builder. So does he actually own the house? Because I'm like, well, how? I know I saw this episode where Chris was telling you had to go, and he was, oh, I gotta move my stuff and stuff. So now I'm like, I'm so confused.
So that, to me, that part is because I did hear him say, well, the house that Martell built. So
right. I was like, exactly, what builder is in the house sitting up in there when you come to show it? So that's why I was like,
right. That's why Chris told him to get out. That's what. Right. No, I think that was the whole point of that. Chris was trying to say, get out, because you built it, but you just saying here crashes for free. I want to show the house. I came with your stuff, your drawers on the floor.
Right.
Get up out of here.
First of all,
Lee, you still there, Lee?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, when she gets back,
I thought she was still there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that whole thing was crazy to me, because I was like, when you go to see a property, the builder isn't showing you and telling you the price, and we got wiggle room. So
Lee, can you hear? I'm trying to see if she jump in here, because she knows about property and stuff like that as well.
I can hear. Keep going, Erica. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, so no, the builder does not do that. You know what I'm saying? You can contact builders, but only unless the builder is also the owner. The owner is the one talking to you about the price, first of all, and the wiggle room. And secondly, the builder can give you information in terms of it's a new kitchen and stuff. But builders, now I will say sometimes if you're flipping a property that you own, maybe people sleep in a property before they flip it or whatever. So I got that kind of, but then Chris coming and telling you the whole, okay, so I will put this on production, because legally it don't really make no sense. Like, why is Martell even here? Like, I'm not clear. So why Martell is here sweeping up the floor or whatever, whatever. So Martell is just there to, to add more juice to when the story gets back to Destiny that her friends are betraying her, which I assume is the storyline. And, but as a side note, now you were saying in terms of messy, I'm sorry. I don't know, because I've never had IVF. So why are you telling the builder and the realtor that you're getting IVF treatments? Like, I don't even understand. Like, the whole way these discussions, I'm like, who is writing this script? Because this does not seem.
You heard me say it's too much, right? Okay, go ahead.
Does not seem natural at all. Like, exactly. Like, what? What? Why would I be telling my realtor and the builder, not even the owner of the property, about my fertility issues or whatever? So that part also I did not get,
because she wants to make sure it gets back to Destiny.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so I just felt like this scene was contrived. Logically, when you're going to see a property, it didn't make sense. And fundamentally, for Martell to now be like, I'm neutral, it's crazy. It's crazy, because really Destiny was more your friend than even Melody's friend. Y'all was
come on now. So
Destiny kind of let your wife fly to the wind when she did you wrong and was ride or die, was getting read through these Instagram streets, and now you on here talking about you neutral because Moses married his side chick. Now that makes it right. Nah, dude. So
not the grits got married. I can't. Oh my god.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Once, that's what it is. Once grits, marry shrimp, now it's a meal. Now you legit.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's how you graduate.
Oh my God. So you do real good at adding butter and sugar. Okay.
Exactly. Now you're
Oh
full
my
time.
God.
Now you're a full-fledged meal or whatever.
Oh my Jesus. Oh.
So yeah.
Well, okay. So thank you for that. Lee, did you want to jump in with the property and all the discussions and things? Did we lose her? Or did we lost her? Dang it. Okay, so to
Can y'all
continue
hear
on.
me?
Oh, we can hear you. Go ahead, Mama. We can hear you.
Dang, I've been talking for like 2 seconds and I couldn't hear y'all. Anyways, yes, Erica, I agree with you. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
We went through all that for her to say I agree. I'm sorry. Oh, my stomach. Y'all got me calculating today. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we went through the property and everything else. Okay, I did brought the point what she was saying. She cooks for her man. She does the kitchen. Da 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 da. The thing is kind of odd how she kept on saying. I felt like she was kind of writing a love letter to her. Oh, there's nothing, wrong. I understand why she feels this way. Hopefully I don't not dislike her. All this stuff. Like it's just a change of tune, because you're trying to settle in Huntsville. You want to be a part of this town, a part of this show. To me, it's giving. I want to be a cast member.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, okay, ain't no more other cities between here and St. Louis? Like, what? So yeah, so to me, St. Louis is small enough where you want to be on this show. So at least you can make pop-ups or whatever, but I'm assuming that's what it's giving. Absolutely. Like, I'm like, you can't move to DC or Detroit? Like, really? This way? Talk to Carlos. There's got to be some other place you can move to.
I talked to Carlos. Let's go ahead and jump into kind of get into the end of the episode with Kimmi and the little dinner they had, and how we have another person that Destiny knows that is champion for Sunni. I was like, girl, what is it giving this episode? So now you got Kimmi saying, of course, she has an affinity for her because, when she went through the cancer, of course, she was counting on people that wasn't always in her circle. So I understood that, but I don't know what's going to be. I just kind of want to hear your thoughts about that. What come on, Erica, what do you think?
Okay, again, I felt like this goes back to Carlos and production, because I was like, for me, I don't know. I'm halfway to being a millimeter, but you're not going to shove this couple down my throat. Like, I don't know. I was like, if I have to watch this, I'm not sure. I think I'll stop watching, honestly. But I think part of it is because to me, I was looking at Kimmi like the same way you thought she was your friend, she was supportive during this time, is the same way Destiny thought she was her friend too. She was your producer, so she was kind to you during a time because that's what the show needed.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. I was looking at her like, you can't but give her the side eye if she, I'm saying, the same way she thought she was gonna manage Destiny, like, right? So I'm like, she made these moves with these people behind the scenes just so that she can now be your castmate. Mm-hmm. So to me, I was looking at Kimmi like, okay. And I wonder, we'll need to see the scene of kind of the same thing with Chris. It's like, the question is, do you tell Destiny after the fact or before the fact or whatever? And so I don't know. So I wasn't too much a fan of that, honestly. And then to me, it just should make Destiny realize, or all of us realize when we watch this show anyway, but Destiny should realize, like, these people aren't really your real friends.
And because
they don't have your back.
That's it. That's the post in Lee's voice. That's literally the post, because the people that you think are your friends are your besties or your good Judies. There's probably the ones who are not.
Yeah, these are your coworkers, boo. These aren't your friends, just so that you know. So
Accessories. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
You
I'm
know
like,
what?
you don't be on here calling yourself this woman's friend, and you know, and you steadily talking about you gonna start inviting her. That's what I was. What she said, she gonna start inviting her to stuff. I was like, oh wait, is this
I
Kimmy
know,
or
right?
production? Like, oh
I
okay,
know.
really? Are we really doing this? And then and whatchamacallit, you know, we can pop in on this too. And so another thing that came up in this scene where I was like, girl, this is so crazy to me. So when Moses and Sunni were talking about how they, you know, they're in town to look at a house, and Chris showed them a house, and then Kimmy was like, oh, well, I'm a broker too, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I was just like, okay, we already know that even if you don't, to me, it's like, all right, so now she's sort of like, okay, I didn't sign a contract, so anybody can show me the property. Like what? And we've already seen this in Bell Collective and other shows. Like, yeah, that's okay. Anybody can show you the property. But if someone is going out there looking for stuff for you and you've talked to them and
100%.
you know what I'm saying? So you are cutting people's money. Now you cut, and now it's just like, oh, okay, it's okay. So I was like, okay, you all realize that that's messy. You can smile and kiki all you want, but it is messy if he's out there looking for properties for them.
Agreed.
And now, you know, now that you think you're going to be cool with Kimmy, Kimmy can also show you properties. And, you know what I'm saying? Because if you sign the agreement with him, then whoever showed you, he would still get paid. But because he took your Moses's handshake, which, you know, we can get to the prisoner thing later, but because he took Moses' handshake as okay, we cool, then you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was already coming in messy, really. Okay. So that's why I was like, Destiny, girl, production is just like, girl, we're gonna ride your storyline, we're gonna get new cast members, and we're gonna do everything we can to kind of benefit off of, you know, off of your painful moment.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know what? It's pretty much an extended, you're hurt on TV, we're going to drag out your story.com, because literally they're about to do a whole family and friends moving in. My next door neighbor, that's her baby, that's my ex. That's too much. Like, y'all, this is giving Jerry Springer in the 90s, in the early 90s. Like, I'm not. I'm like, I'm with you with this
Huntsville is up and coming, but then again, so is Charlotte, right? Like, aren't there other towns in the South that are like?
I mean, I know there was rumors that he was working on other towns. There was rumors he was working on Dallas. You know, I mean, and I'm not even saying that people don't have situations like this, you know, where they do have to coincide in the same town, but you was in a whole other city, state or whatever, and you're deciding to literally relocate here where she is. That's a lot. And why? It's not giving single white.
Exactly. And it's very much like, not only are you going to relocate here, but your intention, like, to me, it'd be one thing if, okay, are you relocating, but you're not filming? We not going to see you? Girl, Huntsville should be big enough for that, right? But I'm like, okay, no, obviously you're moving here to be on the show, which I think is I don't know, which I think is trifling. But yeah, so the whole thing, I just feel like, and even if they had come in from the beginning, kind of now is the most apologetic they've seemed the whole time, because they want to get on the show, you know. But before, they were kind of like, it was no, and then even, even at the even when they were showing in the house, Moses is still talking about how Destiny fumbled the bag. I'm sorry. I was gonna Google before I got on how old he is. I was like, are you 40? Because you spent half your life in prison, I believe.
If I hear one more time that Moses says she wasn't giving me attention. I said, if I hear one more time by him whining about her not giving any attention, I'm like, bro, how old are you? You are a grown man. You have found a whole wife. It's giving you still want her. It's giving you don't want to be away from her. You're just doing this because Destiny didn't want you no more. It's giving a lot of that. You saw she was still looking bad. Look, no shade to Sunny, but I'm saying we saw Destiny. Every time you see her, she ready, 100% from the head to top of the bottom of her feet. So I don't know. It is giving +1. It is giving you just sitting there like the on the side while she talks and conducts the whole situation. That looks a mess. I just don't think they're addition. Friend to the show, maybe, but not a main character. No, I don't think so.
Girl, I mean, there's so many. I have so many questions because when we were at that lunch, and you know me, I am a full-fledged day one love after lockup fan. However, I am looking at Destiny with a side eye, like, okay, no wonder you've known him for 10 years if he's been in prison for 15. Like, I'm not even sure how he got married the first time. I'm like, wait,
they
what?
do.
And then when he was talking about, because when he was talking to Maurice, I was like, wait, how you been to prison with dudes from both Pontiac, Michigan and Baltimore, Maryland? Like,
Girl,
what?
it's giving a lot. It's
And
giving a
then
lot.
I was like, he knows everybody in prison. Then when
It's
he
giving.
said how many times he got locked up, I'm like, okay. So that's why, I mean, I can see why he wants to get out of St. Louis. Because that's the main thing you see when love after lockup. If you stay in your same situation, you're going to go back.
No. Look, I agree with that part. Look, I'll give you this because they made some references to that, and I know what you're saying is true. Yes, getting out of your environment. How many rappers have we seen that have come up? Nipsey, all the way to so many, and they still stayed in their home, their hood, and ended up losing their life because somebody hated them or whatever. With him being in and out of jail, prison, whatever, it would be best to go to a new surroundings, try new things because you go back to your old pattern, your old ways.
Right.
That's true fact. So, but for me, like you stated earlier, there are other cities and places around. It'd be different. Now, let me tell you something, Erica. I think you and I would be thinking a different tune. Let's say, for instance, excuse me, he had a baby in Huntsville, and he wants to get away from where he stays for all the reasons we stated just now. But he's going to stay in Huntsville because that's a choice because his child is there. I would 100% would agree and be on his side and say no one should say anything. He's trying to be a father, but there's nothing holding him there. That's the confusion part for me. What do you think?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, okay, first of all, I think obviously what's holding him or drawing him is they need TV money because IVF ain't cheap. So that's probably one thing. But secondly, like, exactly, it's like you all are coming here off of the back of someone you did wrong to make a check. Like, till you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna
come on now.
No. And exactly, it's like it'd be one thing to say if he had filmed, if he had moved here with Destiny, even if he had a community here, like I guess they said they got family here somewhere or friends or something. I'm like, Sunny, you don't have friends, you have co-workers. These people aren't your friends, you weren't their friend. And so so to me, you're clearly coming and to get on this show as a money grab, and really you wouldn't be relevant to the show but for Destiny. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not suddenly going to put production assistants or producers on the show randomly. So you would not be on here but for the fact that you dated her and now you dated somebody that worked with her. And so, or married somebody she worked with. So to me, yeah, I agree with you. It would be one thing if he had his elderly mama lived in Huntsville, somebody.
Right.
But it's like you just go up and come someplace and basically make yourself her co-worker.
Like, I agree.
That seems insane. I agree with you. It's giving very much stalker. So I'm like, what is you doing? And the fact that production is kind of And so that's part of me is like, is this them or production? Because I was like, this just seems so contrived, and now it's going to be the battle of who's Destiny's friend versus Sunny's friend. Like, is this what we're going to do for next season? Like, is this going to be the new thing? And yeah, like, but I will say this one thing that Maurice brought up that was interesting, which seems to kind of get to the root of it. Maurice was like, well, it looks like Sunny is the leader of the relationship. And as she needs to be, because he made all these bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we go back to his argument with Destiny wanted him to be the leader. And Destiny made some comments before, like, you said you were going to do all this, and this, but you wanted me to date you like I was the man. So it seems like he needed somebody like Sunny and not like Destiny. Because to me, I'd be looking at Destiny like, why would you think somebody with 15 years in prison was going to be able to lead you? Like,
come on now. Exactly.
Not that they don't deserve second chances.
I agree. But you can look at him and tell he needs somebody to hold his hand to cross the streets. He does not give me that. I am that strong man. I will get in the car and get the groceries. Baby, you ain't got to worry about it. I'll bring the groceries in. You know what I'm saying? I take care of you. I got you. No, he is still whining about his wife, ex-wife, girlfriend, I don't know, not giving him attention.
Exactly. And I'm looking at Sunny crazy. Like, I know and can imagine how badly you want to have kids, but you started IVF with this fool before you were married.
Child, let me tell you something. Who is going for to try to be a baby mama? Who is trying to be a baby mama?
A 4-time prisoner. Like,
come on, man. My vote is baby mama.
I'm like,
wow, that's crazy.
I'm like, Sunny, you're giving very much thirsty, like on all the levels.
Wow, not all the levels.
All Jesus the levels, because it's like you want so bad for everyone to know that you and Moses.
My man.
Oh my gosh, our children. I'm like, girl.
Erica, your body is so bad. It's like I wash his clothes. I take care of him. He's girl. Stop.
I'm with him every day. Like, girl.
But all of a sudden she goes to the store. Keisha and JoJo and all kind of girls that came through 15 minutes while she was gone. Wait a minute, what were you doing? Oh, I was reading the Bible, thinking about you. I love you.
Right? Exactly. We're all here in Bible study, boo. That's all we're doing. That's it.
Wait a minute, why is she pregnant? What's going on, baby? Look just like you. What is going on?
Yes. So, so I totally
oh
agree.
My God.
I mean, to me, I feel like I don't know what is worse, that they're clawing to get on the show, that like I just as much as they're trying to sell Huntsville is great, up and coming, I am giving the side eye like they only have one gym and they ain't got no more couples. Like, this is what we got to do for couples. Like, we
hold on. It's giving I want to spin off us trying to have a baby, struggling to deal with his ex. It's giving I'm trying for a spinoff. It is.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, because to me, I'm just like, okay, have them move to. Is Detroit coming back? Have them move to one of the other.
Oh my God, that is actually good. Hold on. By the way, if this idea comes to fruition, you already hear on Miss Reviews from Exactly Erica. Patented
Thank you.
Coming soon.
Let them know that there are other love and marriage franchises that they can just randomly move to and become friends with somebody. But
wow, that's crazy.
Here as her ex, because I'm just like, I don't even know if I can really entertain this. I would rather see them bring on Ariane and have Martell and her get together.
Ooh, no. All the sides coming together.
Upgrade a side dish.
Coming to gumbo and gravy.
Upgrade Coleslaw.
Oh
That's
my
what we need to do.
God.
We don't need to upgrade the
Jesus
script.
Christ.
We need to upgrade coleslaw and bring her on the show. I'd rather see that than to see this mess. But
Lord have mercy.
I'm just joking because I do all the millimeters out there. These are just jokes. These are just jokes. Don't come into my comments.
They coming for you, Erica. They coming, girl.
I'm just joking. I don't even want Martell on the show really anymore.
They're coming.
Martell has been getting on my nerves the entire season.
Oh my God, I ain't gonna lie. He has been really annoying. Yes.
And today he was still as annoying. I was like,
more than annoying today. Yes.
I was like, for you to get on here for the one friend who's still cool with you and be like, now I'm neutral.
No, wait. Wait, Erica, wait. You have one friend in town. The one friend you have in town you shit on. Like, hey, it's my property you about to buy. I'm gonna go ahead and get that coin. But if you mess up Moses, I got destiny back. I got you. Like,
right. What? You have one ride or die in Huntsville, and
nobody likes you here, sir. Wait. Erica's like,
how you doing?
Like when you have a ceremony, I'm the only one that shows up. Really? I'm the one you crap on. I'm the only one that comes to your events.
Thank you. I'm the only one to be halfway to go live with you on Instagram. And this is how you do it.
When we have the table vote of voting you out, guess who's names with the table vote? It is me. Every time.
I'm like, what?
Oh my God. I can't, Erica. Not the only one here. Oh my stomach.
She's the only one willing to go to the gym and work out with you. And now this is how you do her.
Oh my God.
That. Oh my gosh.
This is horrible.
I was so outdone with Martell. I was like, Martell, you don't deserve no friends. Go back to your wine.
How many of
whatever you do. But stop it right now. That's so low down. I was like,
oh my God.
Destiny go watch this episode and be like,
Jesus.
Be like, hey, can I get cool with Stormi? Like,
I can't. Look, betrayal. All of a sudden, you see him going live with Black Titanic. Like, what?
I know. All of a sudden, she's a blogger. Like, she's Destiny, girl. Let's get off this show because they don't like you on here at all. Like,
oh my God, I am crying. Jesus.
Speaking of which, I have heard in the streets that Stormi quit. Have you heard that?
Girl, wait a minute. Like, let me look up some stuff. So this is a recent tea that just dropped, or it's just been lingering?
No, I just heard it like this week since the Kiki thing.
Okay. Let me see. I know you're looking to. Somebody put a video up. Oh, Scotty by Nature did.
Oh, so maybe it looks like she must have gone live on IG and said something that leads people to believe. Maybe she was, let's see, it says on here on Urban Bell. So maybe she was on Love and Marriage. I mean, maybe she was on IG Live kind of upset.
Wait a minute. Because I'm looking at, well, you said on Urban. What your search word did you put in for yours? Because I just had Stormi.
I put Stormi quits Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then,
okay.
Let's see.
Hold on. Let's see if it comes up for me. La. Let's see. I don't see.
Okay, so here's what it says. I guess she must have posted this on IG.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Ask you a question. Is it Stormi still vents about her frustrations? Is that the article?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Okay, let me click on that then so I can share.
Wait, no, hold on. That's not the article. Hold on. Okay. Now that I look at it, I'm like, that's an old article. So okay, let me stop even reading that because that's not relative.
Okay.
But I have seen where people are posting about it. I don't see any articles. Let me see. Shocking news: Stormi quits Love and Marriage. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't want to play the video, but I know I saw his video.
Yeah, I see a few videos on it, but I hadn't watched the videos yet. So, but I see people are speaking on it. So I don't know. So if anyone does know, let us know. But it
But
looks
but there's even an old video from 9 months ago where it's saying that she quit. So I'm gonna like wait until because she announces everything she does. I'm just gonna wait on that one. But that's interesting. What would you? I wonder why. That's a lot of money to. It's a lot of money, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I do feel like something must have happened, I think, after Kiki passed, because that's when, so maybe she said something on IG. I don't follow her. And then because that's when people started posting these videos like Kiki's passing, Stormi's quitting or whatever. But I
Oh
haven't
wow!
seen, I didn't actually get a chance to watch the videos, so I don't know. And I don't actually see an article reporting on it.
Right, right.
So we'll wait and see on that. But yeah, because I feel
That's
like I
interesting.
don't know what to say about the show. Because really, this episode was, it was a lot of it more because I fell asleep so many times, but a lot of it was based on like Sunni and Moses, and I was like, oh,
It
another scene with
was.
them. And then let's see. Oh, now one thing we didn't talk about, so or you didn't mention, I guess when I got on here, but what are your thoughts on, again, Martell making it seem like well, I guess he said she came to his house, but they didn't do anything. Him and is the girl's name Trisha? What's the new
Yeah,
liquor girl?
yeah. Okay, so I put it in my notes. One thing I did talk about it. I said that it was said or slipped up or whatever, that he DM'd her for her to come by his house or whatever. And my whole thing is with that, I had been said it. I remember I told you before in the other episode that I felt like that he liked her and he still does. He looks at her like a schoolboy that sees his crush every day. I think he likes her, and he liked her for a long time. Whatever reason, I'm saying he in love with her or anything. I'm just saying he's attracted to her and he likes her. You know, and she
Right,
might be
I
the new
agree.
girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then she actually came by, but he said she came, so it's not like he just invited her. She came. He said she came to the
Right,
house a couple times.
and nothing happened
So
apparently.
yeah, I
Mm.
guess, but it's
That was
like,
that what he said. So I mean,
right, exactly. But I just feel like he said, I don't know, like that whole, I'm not clear what's going on with that storyline because I feel like he said different things since we've started.
well,
And
hold on. One thing we did forget, and I almost forgot this. I really wanted to get into the discussion of the kids with Nell, and I want one thing I want to say is first of all, that's a beautiful looking family. The kids, I think they're a good looking family, right?
yeah,
But I could tell Lance just has a swagger. Like when he walked up in the kitchen, he was like, "Yo, what's up?" Like you know what I'm saying? Like what y'all got to talk about? But he come in just like just a different swagger, in my opinion. And so when she's talking about the money situation, and when the niece popped off, I was like, because I didn't know that was a niece at first. That part to me was crazy. I was like, "Whoa!" She got upset because automatically she refers to her grandchildren, because the kids, babies, the grandkids, she is the niece. And I understand, I don't fault Nell for that. Um, but she got really upset behind it. She really has some feelings. And the fact that her parents are still alive, it's just a lot to unpack there. What are your thoughts?
well, I wouldn't say I necessarily fault, you know, but maybe you do need to go to therapy or whatever, because I feel like, how should I put it, to invite someone to a family meeting and then kind of treat them like they're not family, like, I don't know, I don't get it. And so, because I feel like the niece is right, like if you're inviting her, like, you all are my kids, and I'm only going to be here for my two grandkids, and she has a child, like, I feel like I'm not going to say justified, but I could see where she would be hurt, because she'd be like, okay, well, what about like, why am I at this meeting if I'm not part of so I think maybe those need to be, and that's what they said too, those need to be some of the things that are kind of gone over in therapy, because I know Black families, we do have a way of having sister cousins, and this is my
Right,
brother, and
right.
all this other stuff.
100%.
Right. So I get it. But
But
then,
the other side of that is where are the parents? And I'm not judging anyone when I say these questions because to me, we don't know how it feels to be in Nell and Chris' position where I got to foot the bill, and I don't mean financially, just a general statement for everything. And I love you, my niece. That's why I say where are the parents. I'm a logical thing. I'm not being funny. I'm not kidding about it. I'm gonna be straight about it. Where are the parents at? But go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean
Well,
interrupt.
no, I mean, I agree with you, but I think on their side, like once you take that person in, and especially if you're taking them in as your child, like to me, I'm like, if you really feel, however, and and you're kind of taking her on, sort of, because to me, it's like if you bring in a foster child into your family, are you going to treat them different than the other child that's there? Like, I don't think that that's right. So if you bring them all the way in, or do what you can. But to have her sitting there as if these are all my children and I'm telling my group of children things, and then to kind of say, okay, but now you're the niece again. You know what I mean? I can see
I wouldn't have even said my grandkids if she was there. I probably would have said, I'm only gonna
little
take care of
kids
the
are
baby.
the
I was the
ones.
babies, the
Yeah,
babies.
the
I'm gonna
babies,
take care
right?
of the babies.
Exactly. And
That's all I
especially
would have
like,
said.
and then when she said, really, when she said those two, like I would have assumed she meant all the grandkids until she said those two. And then that's when it was just like, oh, so to me, I agree with you. Like I would just say the babies or whatever, because they're little, they don't, whatever. And I don't think even her niece would have faulted her. But once she said those two, and I know it was unintentional. So to me, I feel like, so that's kind of, I agree with you. I mean, it's sad that her parents haven't been a part of her life. And so that part was touching. And I think that it was good that she realized whatever issues she has, because she was the first one to really speak up about the therapy. And I feel like that must be hard if you're sitting here, and I, like, for example, when I was growing up, I had like my cousins, like I think once my parents got divorced, like I've been in situations where you go to somebody's house on the holidays and all the kids get gifts, but you're kind of like the visitor. Like nobody likes
Oh
that
wow.
feeling. So it's like, so nobody likes to feel like, oh, okay, I'm here kind of observing another family. So to me, if you're going to bring her in, bring her all the way in. And
Period. No,
then,
I agree. I
you
agree.
know,
I mean, okay, so okay, let me touch on that a little bit. Okay, so look, at the end of the day, if you are talking to your kids and you having a full discussion, you say a lot of shit, you all blubber together. At the end of the day, the niece should know if I'm bringing you in my kitchen. Hey, Miss AKA, what's up, baby? AKA weekend, okay? If I bring you in to my fold and you're in my kitchen, why isn't it not automatically understood you're part of my family? I have other nieces and nephews. You're the one who's here.
right.
Now I
That's true.
understand. I get being hurt by that one statement, but if I'm having a full discussion, because in the statement in my notes, one of the things that she said, my kids who are struggling, she said that we give money financially to is Chris and Kiki.
Right.
When she spoke about financial, I'm just I'm gonna break it down and look at the other side. But when she brought up, I'm not giving out any money, she said I don't like that. And I know she was talking about the kids, but was she talking about the kids, or was she talking about the fact you're saying I'm not gonna keep giving out money? Which one was it? I'm sorry, I got to look at all sides. Okay. Now, what do you think about that? I gotta keep it real.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with you on that. It's like, and that's what was so interesting. Yeah, because you're right. Because she said it was Chris and Kiki,
Yep.
Chris Jr., that she gives the most money to. So it was interesting that Kiki was the one who was the most hurt. I wanted to find out, because I was trying to look up the other person, because what's the stepdaughter's name that went to was it Tasha K or something?
Oh, I don't know what her name is. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because that's another thing I was wondering. I was like, so when they talk about who are they giving financial support to, who they aren't, and remember, was it this season where they had or or maybe that's the one who went, because there was a season where they had a family dinner and one of the daughters left. And so we, I guess as we see more and more of their family, we'll get used to all the characters, because I feel like it's a couple people missing. And so I think, I think we'll see more once they show the therapy sessions of who is really getting the most of the money too. You know what I'm saying? And then also who is really between Nell and the husband, Chris, who is the one who always says yes? Who is the one that's always saying no? Because I feel like Nell is carrying it like she's the heavy hitter in terms of the money.
Saying no, probably.
Yeah, and the daddy is like, okay, so
right.
So I'm curious to see.
Hey, Sunday.
Hey.
Okay, so cut and paste. Tisha said the stepdaughter's name is Lexi.
Okay, thank you. So I'm curious to find out, kind of kind of what you've already touched on. Who is it that they are really actually bankrolling? And what is the actual scenario there? And maybe some of this will be fleshed out in therapy. Because I'm like, maybe because Lexi might feel a way too if they're bankrolling the siblings and she's struggling, So.
Right. There's a lot to that. But at the end of the day, everybody's grown. At the end of the day, if they want to do something on a trip, and they might have to go, oh, I can't do this because my grown child, I heard her say rent. First of all, maybe I'm sorry. It threw me with that. When she said we paying up people rent, y'all grown. Why am I paying your whole rent? Your rent might be 5, 6, 1,000. I don't know where they stay at. It could be so many different amounts of number. If I want to go on vacation, I got a whole bag of change my plans because I'm paying my child's whole rent. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying. If they're trying to build for retirement and all these things, how can they? So this is another thing that Black people, as far as having to have a legacy, how can I have a legacy when I'm constantly giving it to you guys? I can't say anything up. You're constantly asking for money.
Yeah, and especially full-grown people walking in here with outfits and chains and stuff. So I'm so confused.
Girl, I don't know.
So yeah, no, I totally agree. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad, because I don't know everybody's age, but they all look, well into their 20s and stuff. And I do feel like if you're down, because my parents have helped me over the years, but I'll put it like this: like Chris and Nell aren't they're not the Carters or Diddy or they're not someone who's so wealthy where everybody can just chill and live. You know what I mean? They're not Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh my God!
We're just gonna take care of everybody. You know what I mean? And even Jay-Z wouldn't loan somebody $5,000, so there has to be a line with full grown-ups. Or I agree with you on the rent. You know what I mean? You can go sleep in a basement before I pay your rent. I know that.
Girl, for real. Something gonna have to give. Something gonna have to give with that is what I'm trying to say. It's something is gonna have to give, and I don't know. I'm just not really the fact that the way they are coming, you owe something. And she started crying. And again, look, I know how kids can be, just being honest. You are thinking about it, mom uncle and auntie, aka mom, dad, whatever, would probably give whenever I ask for it, including my rent. You do get used to that. At the same time, they have things they want to do for themselves. If they're probably realizing, damn, we're putting out stuff we got to do because we're paying 2 or 3 kids rent. You notice how young man came in, the first thing he said was, I got a job. That was the first thing that came out of his mouth. He already knew where the conversation was going to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, I totally agree with you, because I'm kind of looking how many of his bills were they paying that they don't know he have a job? So I'm like, okay.
Girl, like, what's the
Like he had to
tea?
let people know I can start paying the light bill
That
now.
shit was
Like
so
what?
funny. Oh my god, that was so. I
It's like,
was
oh my
dying.
gosh, I had so many questions. I was like, and who are you supervising? But okay, as long as you working, as long as you working, so that's good. And so I think it'll be interesting because I do feel like the ones who have children are gonna get more. You know what I mean? Because I do know people who halfway use the grandkids to get some extra dollars from their parents too. So
Girl, let me tell you something. You see the whole thing with famous the Houston show, but look, Sunday typed in the chat, my dad damn near cursed me out when I quit a job one time before having another job. He still helped me, but I got another job right away. Let me tell you something, girl. I can remember being pregnant with my baby. I remember being about maybe 8, 9 months pregnant. I remember I was laying in the bed and I was like, "Oh, I don't feel like getting up." I remember my mom was like, "Girl, you are a single mom and your baby gonna be here in a month. Get your butt up and go to work." And I will never forget. I'm like, bro, I am like pregnant. She gave me a look like Ann, like, and I walked to work. Mind you, 5 minutes away. But I'm just saying, my mama did not play, baby. You gotta get your job. I'm not taking care of no babies. She said shit. So I mean, I get well, everybody's collectively saying the same thing. At the end of the day, get up, like get what's the name on Friday, get a job. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Get up and go get a job. Cause I'm gonna take care of you because you're my kid. But if I'm running into my own problem with my bills because or putting stuff off, because they're at the age now and he's making good money where they should be going on trips. They have the real estate business plus the money from the show and probably other things they do attached to the show or whatever. They're making coin. And if I'm paying rent for other people, can you imagine? I don't know how's the scale of pricing as far as Huntsville, but if one person's rent 1,000 or one person's rent 800 or whatever, and they got 3 or 4 kids they're doing it for, can you imagine how much money is going on every month?
exactly.
Please.
I don't recall what is he doing counseling. I don't know what Nell does outside of the show.
Okay.
He's a real estate broker. So they can do super great and then they can have super lean moments because their money's up and down depending on when on the market. Although after COVID, things have been booming.
Right.
And then but yeah, and they just became full time, they were friends of the show for the longest, and they not in like every episode. So I don't think you get paid for the episodes you're not in. So I don't know if they can
Mm,
count on that, own money too tough. So I
right.
know they looking like, okay, wait, how long?
Right.
Because
I
it's
mean,
like it
hey.
reminds me of that movie. Not that I ever watched it, but just gives you the idea like failure to launch. Like, what's going on? Y'all not like y'all getting, like once you hit at least 25, okay, what are you doing? Like
Mm,
how long we gonna
yeah.
ride this out? Like you
Right.
need
No, it's
to
true.
try
No, I
something.
agree. Agreed. I mean, I don't know what's going to end up happening with all this, but I do know that, um, what I'm saying. I'm
Oh,
pretty
wait a
sure
minute,
that.
hold on. Somebody says here, Miss Mad About Music says Nell owns a daycare. Okay, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So you're gonna get you know what I mean? Like you ain't got no job, you're gonna be down there wiping some snotty noses or whatever. You
What
gonna
the
do
hell?
something, you gonna change a diaper boo, but you gonna do something to
Girl,
make some money up in here. You gonna clean out the houses that your dad is trying to sell, you gonna do something. But you guys to you're not just gonna sit here chilling while I'm paying your rent. Like that's yeah, that I don't even understand.
But no, I agree with that as well. Like I don't know. That's nail. Okay, so like I said, to me, they are power couple essentially. Now you can say something about somebody owning a daycare. She may own more than one, and no shade. People need to get their kids watched while they go to work. So that's a
No, I mean,
coin.
no, I'm
You know what
saying
I'm
that's
saying?
great. I'm just saying
No, I'm
hire
not
those.
saying you. I'm saying in
Yeah,
general, saying that they are a power couple. They're making
yeah,
money. They're making money, and she's probably looking at it. Look, every time I look around, these kids is asking for money. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do and take care. And you see, and another part of it is she's becoming more social. Another show is out or whatever, but I feel like she's becoming more social, being out and about. You gotta get dressed up, you gotta do things, and all this stuff costs money, not for free. So them kids is probably getting her away from what she want to do. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. So cut and paste Tisha says, cut and paste Tisha. What's up with that name? The niece was working there before Nell fired her. And Miss Mad About Music says, I agree with that statement, Erica. Put those kids to work. Sunday says, I was on my own since 19. One thing my dad taught me was to save money and be a smart worker, period. My first job was at 14, baby. Been working ever since. 100%. I do agree.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And especially if you own businesses where your kids, I would rather you pay the kids a salary than just paying for their bills or whatever. Because it's like, okay, so at least, even if they have to work for you until they find something better, but at least have some, and they both have business. I agree with you. I think they are a good power couple. And now that we're getting to see more of their backstory, I think it is a good one. And especially since nobody else has, well, I guess Kimmi and Maurice, Jalen is kind of older, especially since their children are grown. So it's showing you a different perspective when the kids, kind of like the Tylers on DC. Like it's a different dynamic when your children are in their 20s and you're still sort of, sort of developing that relationship. So I do think they are actually bringing a little bit more to the table, and I like that.
I like that as well. I really do think that, I don't know. I really feel like that they're going to bring a different element to the show that's needed. I feel like, and she said she loves some brand labels. Again, all this stuff costs money, and if my kids are grown, I ain't got no baby in the diapers. It's all going to me. Period. I'm sorry. So I'm like, y'all grown. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, like I like Nell and Chris, and then I like Latricia and Ken. That whole drama. But I'm not gonna do Sunni and Moses. Like I can't with you guys. Like if anything, to me, show us who Destiny is dating. But I don't really need to see her ex, suddenly be on the show full time. So, but some of the other people, like the new girl, Latricia and Ken, they're interesting.
They are not the muscle man. Who said that? Also, that's the next clip for next episode. We won't get. I mean, that just showed it where it's gonna be more drama with them. I told you, they literally this whole entire season. I feel like it's gonna be surrounded by the two of them. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think So I think that's interesting. I do feel like I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if anyone. Like, I don't know what's going on with production. I feel like, are we getting new producers? Are we upgrading interns? Like this season has seemed very contrived, very put together. You know what I mean? So between the Sunni Destiny thing, and then even this new couple, I like them as a couple, but even the way they were kind of bringing them in seems contrived, honestly. But I like that we are going to see the ex, because I was like, how many weeks is she's going to tell everybody in this town with one gym that she has
girl the nightclub
she's not married to, and we not gonna see him? Like what?
The nightclub.
Exactly. Thank you. One job, one gym, one nightclub, and then one basement where they throw parties. Like that's all they've got.
That's it.
That's all they show us. And so I like that her husband is going to be on there. Her ex, or no, I guess he still is her husband. Her husband is going to be coming on.
Yes, finally.
I'm glad, 'cause I wasn't sure if they were going to show him or not, and I was like, they talk about him so much. Please show him. So I'm glad that we're gonna see that, because that part looks interesting for sure.
He's coming in like a hater though. Already, he is.
Yeah, exactly. Not ex. He is still her husband. Exactly. Miss Mad About Music.
What'd she say? Well, he's whatever he is, ex, new man, old man, whatever. He's coming in like a hater. He's coming in like the muscle man is there. I was like, bro, look. First of all, yes, you are not the muscle man anymore, and she has somebody else. Calm down. So it is what it is. I understand his frustration with that, but Chabu, It's given she don't want you and probably had want you for a long time, and you probably knew it. But now you finna get your little guest star on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So we're gonna see what the plus ones is giving this season. So the plus ones has taken over, y'all.
Girl,
Have
that ain't,
taken
you ain't
over.
never lied. And then cut and paste Tisha. I think that's the thing with Martell and Trisha that I'm so confused by. So I don't know, is Martell just being messy? Does she, I don't know why she's not just saying like, okay, like why is he telling us that she came by his house a couple times and then he act like he didn't know her? Like, because at first when he acted like he didn't know her, it was because she had dated somebody's brother or something, and then or she worked someplace with Marceau. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff, and then so he's been acting all along like something may have happened. So to me, like, not saying that it's a problem, but I don't know. Like, I feel like, okay, the same way you said you didn't recognize her, but she was in your house twice, more than once, and you couldn't recognize this person on the street. Like, it doesn't even, like, I don't know if he's straight out lying or he's, or it's a produced storyline. But yeah, like, I agree. By the end of the episode, right, she dated Martell's brother, but he DM'd her and she came to Martell's home more than once.
100%. That's also weird too. Like,
That's
that's
giving, my
weird. That's
brother hit
weird.
it. Now he's in prison. I'm gonna try to hit it. That's
It
what
ain't no
giving.
fun if the homies can't have none. It
Now
ain't
that our
no
brother's in jail,
fun.
right? Right, exactly. That's what it's giving.
I'm sorry, no
And
disrespect.
I'm
Sorry, I'm sorry.
and I would say, okay, you went over there, whatever, and then you're like, whatever. But why would you go over again? You know
She
what I mean?
liked
Like,
him.
I'll give you one time to go over there and be like,
And they all were young too. Yeah, look, the real talk. They all were young and having their fun. I'm not even gonna judge them, by anything, nothing like that. It's just, it's a lot going on with that. I don't know if she was like a friend to a lot of people in his crew. I don't know what's happening there. But all I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot. That whole
right. To
situation.
me, for him to invite her over to his house more than once,
Girl.
and she dated his brother, she was all whatever. I'm like, what are you really trying to say?
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
But I guess we'll save it for the reunion.
Girl, you know what's coming.
Because I know it's coming out. So it's like, oh, just get it out. Or she should really get it out herself, because it's like, girl, you remember what happened. Because that's why which it kind of makes sense. Because at first it's like, if I dated someone's brother and they didn't remember me,
okay,
like, I don't know. She was really upset behind that.
Wouldn't she though?
And I was like, why is she so mad that he did? She even went back to her boyfriend, like, can you believe, like, whatever. So I do feel like it is starting to make more sense. Oh, she's saying no, she did not date his brother.
Well, she said no, she went to school with his brother and her sister worked with Marceau at the movie theater. There's so much out there, child.
Right. So it's very contrived. But all this being said, I'll cut her some. Maybe she didn't sleep with both of them or whatever. So we'll throw that flag.
Right.
But now, now that he said this, it makes sense. It's one thing for someone to be like, oh, we went to school and you didn't recognize me. It's another thing. You were up in a house in a face doing whatever. They're not doing whatever more than once, and they don't recognize you on the street. So that part, like, that explains why she was so upset. Because I was like, why is she this mad?
Come on now.
That he didn't recognize her. And so, so now that he said that she came by his house, but she really needs to get ahead of this. Because, like, if she went to his house and did this stuff, like, why are we waiting for Martell to drop these little breadcrumbs to some silly secret to give himself more airtime? So it's like, whatever it is you did it. It's a wrap. It already happened. Just let Ken know, let your husband know, and then tell everybody. Because
no, let Ken know.
because
Lord
kids
Jesus.
steadily going to bowling and working out with them and all this other stuff. So it's like,
Oh, muscle man, muscle man.
yeah, let muscle man know, let your current husband know, and then keep it moving because you're
My thing, my thing is, I bet you won't say that stuff in his face. That man, you said that man's a muscle man. Look at you. You look like JJ from Good Times. You need to have several seats and be quiet, sir, because you will not be able to handle that conversation. Talking about
right.
muscle man. I was
Wait,
like, bro,
I know, right? Now go to this one, cut and paste Tisha. The host may have been divorced at the time, but he was still in the marital home when she came. That's the question I have. Did she come over recently or back in the day? Like, I'm so confused why Martell's timeline, and he's such a hoe. Who knows, right?
no
So
Jesus.
that's the part where I'm like, that's the whole thing with them. I was like, y'all need to get the notes, get the timeline straight, because it does seem uh a little bit confusing. Because to me, it's like if she came over a couple of times since his breakup with Mel, right?
Okay.
So before he was, because I was like, okay, either she came before he got married or after. But
Mm-hmm.
if she came over a couple times after, and then you saw her in the house and act like you didn't know her, that's
Mm,
crazy. That would
yeah.
also explain why she's so heated. Because she'd be like, dude, I was sitting on your couch 3 years ago. Like,
Oh my God.
so that whole timeline is crazy. So she went by his house. This is after her husband, but before Ken. Like, on both timelines, it's very confusing. So hopefully y'all can, look at your months and dates and work it out.
Seriously.
But it is a little bit it is that whole storyline. I think she clearly, I don't know, he said they didn't do anything. I want to hear what she has to say, because I'm like, I'm not necessarily convinced by what he has said, because he's acting like they did. The way he acts, they both act like they did, to be honest. The way they act, they're acting like somebody where you hooked up a couple times and it didn't turn into a relationship, but now that person act like they don't know you, but you hooked up with them.
Mhm.
That's what it's giving. So we'll see, what they come up with. Maybe it was just innocent Instagram Netflix, but no chilling. Like, is that is that what we're?
Girl, it's too much is happening. Is what it is.com.
But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But I do like that her ex is coming on, and I feel like
Me
there was
too.
something else interesting on the previews too.
I can't remember what else happened on the preview. I just remember that they kept showing him a lot or whatever. That's all I remember. But so I don't have anything else unless you got something else.
No, these last couple comments are interesting. Uh the whole problem with these new couples, their storylines don't make sense, and the more they try to explain, it just sounds fake and an act for the cameras.
Yes, it is.
It is giving contrived, but I will say, once Moses said he had been in prison for 15 years, it explained a lot.
Wait, also, I wanted to shout out because I didn't realize Lance was actually in the chat on Instagram. So, of course, Queen's reviews cast do come through over here on the Queen's channel. We all know that. So, shout out to you, Lance. Lance is very handsome, by the way. Love his hair. Was in the chat. I see you, actually, Aubrey, over there. How y'all doing? Shout
Hey,
out to all
hey.
you guys in the chat. If you are new to Instagram, which y'all do take the time and follow me. Same with YouTube. We had over almost 200 people just on Twitter
Oh, nice.
alone. Wow, so that's pretty good.
And then it
Um,
says, next episode,
oh
Nell's
yeah,
oldest son kind of calling her out in the therapy. I was going to say there was something else in the preview that looked good.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
feel like the next episode is going to be really good, because I was kind of
I do
over
too.
Sunni and Moses this episode, but I do want to
Study and
see.
share.
No, I know, right? Sunni and Moses this episode. I was over them. So I will so it'll be nice to get back into the thick of things. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that therapy session is gonna be good. So I like that.
So I wanted to take a moment because I did, and I stated this before, that I dedicated this particular episode to Kiki, and I did report about her fortunate death last week. and I did turn 48 Friday, so this hit me really pretty hard because she is younger than me, and the circumstances where she died. I also did post some prevention for helping my side. I did post it in several groups everywhere else because I think I didn't know about it as well. That was really sad to hear how easily this could happen. But I did also promote the information. I think of going homecoming is going to be the 8th if you live in the area. But I do want to make sure that I, in this episode, make sure I did dedicate this episode to her. That was important to me today. Is there anything you want to say, Mama? I know we had a chance to talk about it, but any words you want to say?
Um, Not too much. I just think I really feel for her and her family, and I definitely enjoyed her on the show, and I thought she brought a really unique dynamic to it, and I hope that her passing will kind of bring the people together.
Mm,
Um, because I really feel like, you always think that you have time to make up with someone.
yes,
And there were bridges there that I think,
they were
we
still
all
broken.
thought that they could make it up. You know what I mean? And now they can't. And so that's always a pain in your heart that can't, really be healed. So hopefully this will bring some sort of healing to the show, because I feel like this show has gone, a lot of these reality shows are kind of going through sort of a dark time where people are like, you know, it's just over. I can't never film with you. We can't never, we can't
Right,
never get
right,
it back.
right,
And
right,
so hopefully to see this happen to someone where, like we had just seen the episode where Melody was like, I can't have you in my circle.
right.
And
Mm,
it's like to just tell somebody that, and now they're gone, where maybe they could have, it could have been
right.
something where you got to be her friend again or whatever. So hopefully this will be enough for people to realize, okay, you can have these little
It's not
like
forever.
shady moments or
Yes.
whatever for fun, but you have to hopefully also work to resolve it while you have time. So
Heal, 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 heal. Rest in
yeah,
peace to that young lady, beautiful young lady. I just want
rest
to
in
make
peace,
sure. I
Kiki.
want to make sure I ended the week with this because, like I said, it just happened, and I know her homecoming is tomorrow, and I want to make sure I dedicated this episode. It just touched me. I talked about it all this week, and it just bothered me. I know it's my birthday week, but I looked at it because you know how people lose their life, people are reborn, people are born
Right.
that day. You know, people died on that day besides her as well. It just, I don't know, it just bothered me. She's such a young age. She didn't have nothing going on. Then for her to die, it just was unfortunate. So, all right, y'all. With that being said, we out of here. At the end on a sad note, but it is what it is. I'll see y'all next time. I love y'all. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe.